Hi, I'm Devinder Sandhu, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of Pursuit of Life at Forest Hill Resort. Today we have Gaurav from Afforestt here with us, who's the director with this company. And welcome, Gaurav, to our session here. And we wanted to talk and discuss about our project that we're doing at Forest Hill Resort for the past 2 years, and also at the same time be able to bring out some information for the viewers in terms of what your company does in the work that we are doing here at Forest Hill.
So happy to be here.
Thank you, Gaurav. So, Gaurav, we have been working together for the past 2 years as partners when we first initiated this thing, and I initiated the dialogue with Sunny Verma, who happens to be a director with the firm.
Yeah.
And with your visit along with Varsha and Sunny to look at the site and things. So I would like for you to be able to explain the background of the work that we are doing here at Forest Hill for proper understanding.
Sure. So we have been creating forests since 2010-11. Our journey started from there with a mission to bring back the lost forest. So since then we have worked in around 15 countries, and working in India, like our main thing started as a backyard forest. So we started our service as a backyard forest. Slowly, as we ventured in, as we moved ahead, our journey started. We went to 15 countries. The concept got little viral. People started learning about how forests can be integrated. So we started moving towards doing bigger landscapes, and our collaboration with FHR was part of that scheme. That of course we were bringing back forest in smaller terms, in backyard of the forest, in urban settings, but how about if we can create bigger impacts by healing the degraded ecosystems in a much larger aspects. Now, much larger aspects or much larger landscapes are either in control of government, which you don't have much say in, either with forest department or with some other stakeholders. So we believe the private ownership of the land, which gives complete control of what you want to do, and if that control is in a good way to heal the earth, to create more sustainable, more conscious human habitats, which are also not just for humans but for all the species which are already living there. So I think that was a wonderful part of it when we heard your vision, and we decided to collaborate, because you have this huge chunk of land. 70% of that land is already a forest. So it's not a very big task that we need to do, but in terms of area, of course, it's a big chunk that we need to heal the degraded ecosystems. Apart from that, there's countless wildlife here. There's sambar, there's leopards that we spotted last time, and recently we heard that there was a sighting also. So apart from that, countless birds, these mammals, these predators, all of them are living.
And coexistence.
Coexistence. So if we are able to create those coexistential habitats, which are not just human-centered, but for everybody. So that thought process or that vision being embedded into a real estate or a hospitality industry, I think that's the only option for the future of humans to move forward. I don't see any other option.
Yeah, I think the part that I was very interested in when I got to know about your organization was that we have been in existence here at Forest Hill since 2002. So it's been over 2 decades.
Yeah.
But most of the plantation that we were following, the landscaping and everything that we did here, was on the basis of architects and landscape designers, urban architects and landscape designers per se, that were given to us. And of course it added beauty in terms of the landscape that got created, because we have our golf course and we have the clubhouse and certain parts, the banquet and convention center that we have, that was developed using those principles. But then this idea of being able to not only beautify and create a landscape that would look amazingly beautiful, but at the same time being able to use the indigenous and native species, whether of shrubs, plants or trees, which are native to this area, which can support the entire ecosystem, which is the bird life, the animal life, and everything else that, as you said, that which will enhance it and be able to take it forward. That was something which I saw that your organization is doing both in India and internationally. That prompted me to take up this work. And that's how, even though in this whole ecosystem, in this eco-sanctuary that we are creating, we are following the principle of sustainable development, where only a very small portion, less than 20%, would come under the building footprint, and 80% of the land would retain its original character, flora and fauna. But the enhancement of further the trees and shrubs and plants, and enhancing it by way of indigenous and native species, that is where I thought that this partnership would make more sense. And you had some experience even in Punjab with an organization, EcoSick, I believe, that you had. So that prompted me to take this initiative. With this it's been going great from the time that we have been together, and it has been the projects that we have initiated with you are starting to take shape, because what we decided was that individual two prongs initiative would be taken. One is the small parcels that are being developed now. We would be doing the plantation and landscaping with these indigenous native species of trees and plants and shrubs. And the second is on a larger scale, the big land parcel that is there, where no development is taking place. Even enhancement of that can take place by eradication of the non-native species and just planting these.
So at the core of Afforestt, how we started was our entire learning was inspired, or that moment or that click was started with the lecture of Dr. Akira Miyawaki, which Shubhendu attended, and that actually brought in the transformation to leave his job, to go back to his home, plant a forest in his own backyard to see how it evolves. And since then, 15 years that our journey has been, we have been constantly evolving, constantly learning from that team, as well as several other philosophies or experts that are around the world. We have learned about soil ecology, the soil microbiology. We follow the concept of Jivamrit. We learn a lot from Dr. Subhash Palekar, Dr. Elaine Ingham, Peter Wolleben. So these are the people on whose foundation we have built this entire system, and this system of solutions that we offer to heal the degraded land. So that journey that started from Dr. Akira Miyawaki's inspiration, moving ahead, doing our own research and surveys, keep learning more and more, we have come a long way. And right from establishing the quick surgical method like urban forests, we have been also involved in hydrating the landscapes, like how we can keep landscapes permanently hydrated. So suppose if we talk about Sukhna or this wildlife sanctuary, all of the water that just falls on the land takes the soil away and passes it. How it would happen in a natural state, in a natural jungle, if this was idle, whatever water would fall, that would seep in, and through that subsoil and aquifer it would pass around. Only the water, when the soil and everything becomes saturated, there will be waterfalls and that flowing streams that would pass through. So we are trying to bring back that system. First thing is the water and hydration that we start with. So if the land is hydrated enough, agar zameen pani pee pa rahi hai, that is the biggest help that you can do to any landscape. We talk a lot about healing the landscape with its own memory. So what is that memory? we all have that genetics encoded. So similarly, land also has that genetics encoded. So these plants that we talk about, these trees, flora that we talk about, they have been surviving for millions of years. They have seen all the changes in climate that we talk about, the peaks of the summers, the dips of the winters, the sun cycles, the moon cycles, all of that they have experienced, and they have evolved after it. Now, when we plant them, now when we create these forests, they have all the intelligence. What they need is just that little facilitation of that landscape. If that landscape has water in that, and if we bring the right species and mix together, rest everything nature will do. We don't have to do much effort. Instead, we have to stop ourselves from more intervention. So the same thing applied here, because 70% of the landscape is already intact. So we have to do less and let nature do the things, and that will actually heal these things. So right from starting from hydration of the landscapes, creating these water bodies, bringing back the grasslands, then bringing back the shrublands, and when the soil is able to support tree plantations, we'll go for those tree plantations. For already developed areas or the new infrastructure projects that we are building, we'll be planting quick growing forest. But for bigger landscapes, we'll be starting with that hydration and grasslands and shrublands, and then so that will heal the landscape, that will bring back the entire forest which would have existed here for millions of years. And even if all the humans are wiped out from here, in next 100 years, 200 years, these same forests that we are planting would be here. So it's just the scale of timeline that we are trying to concise. Otherwise nature भी वही करेगा जो हम कर रहे हैं, बस उसको 300 साल लग जाएंगे, 200 साल लग जाएंगे. So it's just the timeline that we are playing with.
Yeah, I think this initiative here, as we are right in the Shivalik foothills, and it is called the Shivalik range, that right from Chandigarh goes right up to Pathankot, and a lot of this land and the Shivalik range and hills have lost their character and they've got denuded.
True.
So this initiative that we are taking here will go a long way in terms of setting an example for others to be able to rewild and create this in the entire region.
Yes.
So Gaurav, basically here, this project that we are doing, because the total landmass here is over 2,000 acres, but there are a lot of people in North India, especially Punjab, where nowadays you see who are very keen and interested to develop their own farm, create their own food forest, and have permaculture, and be able to have other products coming in from their own garden, from their own farm, etc.
Yeah.
So somebody who's looking at being able to create something like that on a smaller piece of land,
Yes.
How can Afforestt help them with that?
Yeah. So we have, like, very recently on our website, we put something called forest homes. So now when we talk about forest homes, what exactly are these homes? So forest is not something that you go for a vacation or you go in a gypsy in a safari. Forest can actually be integrated with the lifestyle. So if you look at any bird or a fox or any animal, a barasingha that roams here, just by existing, eating food, roaming around, doing its droppings, it's creating that forest. It's creating this world a better place. It's only us, humans, that require special purpose, that we want to heal this land, we want to do something just for our own purpose or like that. But how about a place? How about your own little space where just by living, you'll be able to create a better world around you? So if we are able to integrate these forests, where the food that you are getting in next 50 years or say in next 10 years, if you are in a space where your water is pure, where your air is pure, your food supply is pure, that is the greatest luxury, as well as it is the most economical and most ecological way of going forward. So right now we have to choose between, okay, economics or ecology. But right currently, as we see the geopolitical situations that are around us, in next 5 years, say 2 years, the most ecological decision will also be the most economical decision, and that is bound to happen. अगले 50 साल के अंदर जिस जमीन पे शुद्ध पानी है, शुद्ध जल है और शुद्ध खाना मिल पा रहा है, उससे बेटर चीज, उससे बेटर लेगेसी ना तो सोना है, ना कोई बहुत बड़ी प्रॉपर्टी है जो आप अपनी आने वाली जनरेशन के लिए छोड़ के जा सकते हो. सो इफ यू आर हैविंग अ लैंड, a piece parcel where you get your yearly fruit supply from that same land, you whatever water is falling from the sky, you harvest that water as a drinking water. The forest around your property filters that air, it secretes those phytochemicals, those freshness of air that you can breathe, that you can breathe in, and along with that you are living with your family in that space along with all the other species. I don't think there is any other better way possible to live life. So I think we can offer that to people.
So the biggest, because I have been very keen and interested in this part. So what I am seeing more and more that is happening on the lines of what you said is, there are two concepts that have evolved. One is that farm hotels or farm resorts, so which primarily are offering luxury experiential offerings,
Yes.
which are based on the farm life,
Yes.
basically, where everything is, there are working farms comprising of producing vegetables, salads, herbs, spices, fruits, and also having beekeeping and dairy and poultry and goat farm and whatnot, and then the entire menu in their dining spaces is curated right from there. Everything which is produced there, which is becoming luxury. Just recently, Soho House, which is a membership-based hotel chain, have set up Soho Farmhouse as a brand, and there are many others like that all over the world, and they're becoming the most sought after luxury destination instead of the regular resorts that were there in terms of being able to offer. So that is one. And the second thing is that a lot of communities are taking shape, that instead of being in residential colonies or in apartment complexes, people are becoming part of these farm communities, regenerative farms, where together as a collective they are creating a community where they stay and they create these residential units, but then they also have a common farm which comprises of orchards for fruit trees and your vegetable and other produce and dairy farm and poultry and everything else, where collectively they are being able to source their food and live in that kind of a way. And that's happening in India, mostly in South India and the Western India side. It has really taken off, and in other countries like even in US, UK and all over the place. What do you have to say about that, and how do you see this coming into North India at some point of time, or the growth of that?
So I think instead of coming this to Northern India, I'll take you like 1,000 years back in history. Whatever wildlife that we have left, or whatever wild areas that has been left, if you look a little deeper in that, you'll find a small temple or a gurudwara or a small devta ka sthan. So all of these spaces that are left, they are because of the community ownership. Otherwise, individual ownership has already lost because it has segregated. Every family multiplies and the land keeps getting smaller. Community ownership is the only model. If you come together, the land mass will increase. Otherwise, as population will increase, the individual ownership has to reduce. That's by design. But if you oppose the system, if you have a hybrid model where people are not ready to go directly into that community ownership, you own that land, but just like sacred groves of Rajasthan or Kavu of Kerala, and they're in Devasthan of Uttarakhand. Everywhere there are models where there was this one sage who sat there and everybody agreed that okay, no tree cutting will happen in that area. So if similar models can be developed in this area, okay, we have 10 families here, whatever native forest that is growing, we'll do some kind of alignment. Okay, you can't cut that and you will be planting gulmohar or bougainvillea instead just because someone likes it. So that community ownership with proper alignment is the only way I think we can create these ecosystems, and that can translate into developing community farms, community poultry, conscious dairy where the animals are not going through the chemical injections and all those things that we see around. The poultry we are seeing, the vegetables we are seeing, everything is going through that brutality. And solution to that is coming together of those conscious individuals who wants to make change, who have those resources, and creating these facilitated spaces where we all can come together and create these coexistential spaces.
Yeah, to add to what you have said, I think another very important aspect that kind of gives push towards only this way, which is the community farms or community collectives, etc., that would make sense. Either that or something like forestal resort, where a resort kind of a setting is there. Because the main reason I'll tell you is that when an individual on his own, even if one is affordability to be able to own a farm and have all the elements in it, which includes your garden and for vegetables and herbs, your wheat and rice, or your dairy and poultry and other aspects of it, requires a huge amount of capital, because land has become very expensive and capital intensive. The second is the ones who can even afford the cost of those things that you get for your family, because the family sizes are really small. So if you have all these elements, the production that is there, the amount of the milk that you would get or the vegetables that you will get when it is the harvesting season, you can't consume all of that.
True.
And to be able to market them and get the right price becomes a big challenge. So then the cost implication also deters people or families not to go in that model.
True, to keep a cow or like themselves keeping a cow
on their own, because they will not be able to consume the entire product themselves, and if they have to try and sell it, it is not an easy exercise to do. So I think collectives that create these farms for a set of 20, 30, 40, 50 families. So where the input cost is shared and the production is also shared and can be consumed by all of them. Okay. So that is one model that works very well. Or any of the communities that are developing, where, for example, here at Afforestt Resort, we have a resort component of it. We have a club component which has a restaurant and other aspects of it. So that farm can cater to all these places along with the residents who will come and stay at the property or would make this as their permanent home or their second home. So then the economies of scale is there. Otherwise, that is what is also creating a big barrier in terms of people going in that particular direction. That's another reason.
I think that's very true. Economically, it makes much more sense. And also over that, the organic or the good quality produce that you go and see in market right now, biggest currency is the trust. No matter what big brand or the labels and
you don't know what has gone into it.
Everybody knows that there are many chances that this is not the right product.
The commercial interest, somewhere or the other, is creates that kind of thing, to dilute the way the products are grown. And now, one more important question that I have for you is that what does Afforestt do for creating this awareness, whether in terms of I would say for corporates or for executives or in schools or colleges, is there some initiatives that are being taken? Because as people become more aware right from the younger days, that is what can prompt more and more people to follow this system.
Yeah. So honestly, I'll tell you, we don't do much for the awareness. It's more like we create a forest, and even if two people get connected with that idea, they will pass on and people reach out to us instead of us going. So because when people are already convinced and they come to us, half of the battle of convincing to create a forest as an ecosystem or around their house is won. We don't have to put any effort to convert them into you should do this, or we don't preach anywhere. So it's more like we create our forest, we take them to experience. You sit here for an hour and just see. I'm not saying anything, you create a forest or you should do this is the right way. We just let them we create these spaces and just let them experience those spaces. All of their answers, all of their doubts are completely dissolved and they reach out.
The reason why I'm asking is that, we have been running an educational institution where we're looking at now for the next year, setting up a school which will be day boarding and also a residential facility with a lot of sports infrastructure, which is on the national highway between Ludhiana and Delhi, between Sarand and Rajpura. It's a 60-acre campus, and also another one here at Forest Hill. So one of the key things that what I see with my kids having gone to school, that the only initiative that is being taken by the schools is by taking them for a camp into the nature or wilderness, which is for a few days. Okay, but some kind of program or curriculum inductment, if it is done in regards to forestry, the benefits, advantages, and the food forests and things like that. If there are some lectures or some workshops that are done in the schools, that can go a long way. When we're talking about forest homes, so those schools can basically become schools that propagate or promote the creation of forestry and bringing them into their homes and things like that. So that besides sports is a very important element that can go a long way, I believe.
Definitely.
If this thing is inducted in the school itself, and some environmentalists and organization like yours can directly address the students.
So I'll give you two examples, two programs that we run very briefly. So one we did in Netherlands. We created a forest. So this entire forest was planted by kids of school. So same kids planting those forests, same set of kids visiting that forest over 2 years, documenting the growth, documenting those flora and fauna, all of those. It was in association with Wageningen University, and they generated a beautiful report over the 2 years. All of this work is by those kids. So by the 2 years, their age grew. They also saw that forest grew. And in that 2 years, when that report was published, that project became so famous that they got almost 1 million euros to plant 100 such more forests.
So that is an amazing concept.
Yes.
I think I would like to know more about the same.
Yes.
And be able to have it going in both our school projects.
Yes.
And also involve other schools to come and be a part of that. Because I think if you involve a kid in actually creating the forest, and they can see the evolution of that happening or the growth of that happening, it will get permanently embedded in their mind. Definitely. And they would become a conservationist or a forest lover, by getting involved at such an early age.
Yeah, forest is not just planted on land, it's also planted in their minds.
Yeah.
So another example, we did a beautiful project in Kashipur where we call this Mother Tree Collective. And under this project, what we did, we went to all the ancient trees or the old trees that were existing in Kashipur. We collected seeds from it, and there was this school kids that were connected. So they used to document, they noted down the geolocation and everything. So basically a database of all the mother trees that are existing in that. And these mother trees are also keystone species. These are like the primary anchors of ecology in that area, where even the oriental hornbills would come and sit. So those kinds of big giant trees. We collected seeds from it. We created a nursery out of it. So that genetic material that was in that tree in 200 years old, 300 years old, or 150 years old, that genetic material, preserving that genetic material was the key outcome. And we created a nursery, and then we planted a forest out of it.
So Gaurav, with Afforestt, you guys have done a lot of work both in different regions of India as well as internationally. So I believe, from my perspective, that I think the location, the weather, the climate, geology, and etc. They have a lot of impact on the kind of vegetation, forests, and the options or the process that you follow there to regenerate or rewild it there. So can you explain how does it impact?
Yeah. So I think whenever we get a new site or suppose we get a new challenging site. So what we have learned over this entire journey of several years and a decade, it's like nature exists in fractals. There are certain patterns which keep on repeating, getting bigger, and certain patterns which keep on repeating and getting smaller. So from micro to macro, the patterns remains very similar. So how a desert would form would have certain parameters or certain effects that would have caused the formation of desert. And because of formation of desert, there would be certain types of plants that would have survived here, and the ecosystem would have been stabilized. So right from deserts to temperate climates or mountain forests, wherever we are going, the basic building block of nature and natural patterns remains very similar. If you are able to decode that language, you will be able to work in desert. What is the most stable equilibrium vegetation in desert, you'll be able to grow that. If you are in, very recently we were in Armenia, working at around 2200 meters height. It was a ski resort, and there we were supposed to bring back the oak forest, which were like completely wiped out during USSR and that disintegration era. 1990s Armenia got freedom. So there was a huge time for a war that was happening. So all of those forests were wiped out. So it's that where 2 to 3 months, that entire site is under 6 to 7 feet of snow. So there the water challenge was very different. In deserts where we work in Thar Desert, or we worked in Saudi KSA area, Neom, all of these areas have a different approach. So basic fundamental natural patterns remain same. Reading of the language of nature remains fundamental and same, but approach, solutions, and the things that we will do will drastically change. So in desert, we have to concentrate all the resources, bring back the organic matter, bring water, moisture in concentrated zones, so we could create those smaller guilds. In areas where the rainfall is 3000 millimeters annually, we have to disperse those resources so that the wider dispersal would create wider. So the approach changes, fundamentals remains same. It depends on all in which area we are working. Whatever is the most stable equilibrium or vegetation of that area, we'll try to bring that back, maintain or balance those natural elements. If the water is going haywire, the wind issue is causing it, soil microbiology is dead, we'll try to bring that all back and recreate that balance, what would have existed in that area without human intervention.
So one more thing, as we I brought this topic up earlier as well, was that for people who have smaller farms, and they want to use, you brought out the concept of forest homes. What are the various steps? So if somebody wants to engage Afforestt to do that, what are the various steps that are involved for a farm owner, for you to get involved and create an ecosystem for them?
I think first thing is the frequency that we get aligned to. If somebody wants, okay, I want to grow this, but I want to harvest, or I want to create a forest which has gulmohar in it. So gulmohar keeps coming because it's highly demanded and people go after aesthetic. So first thing, if our basic philosophy or our
Vision is aligned.
If vision is aligned, that we will work only with native, we will work only creating those stable equilibrium systems that nature, that anyways would have existed even if you wouldn't have wanted it to. So if that alignment is there, the first thing is to check the site. What are the factors that has degraded it, edific, biotic factors, the human intervention, if the grazing is there or too much chemical has been sprayed on the land, what all needs to be done. So first thing is the analysis of the existing conditions of that land, audit of that land, what are the native species that are standing there, what is wiped out, what is the soil condition, how does the water move, how does air move, how does sun moves, all of these parameters. That's the analysis part. Second part is, by that analysis we arrive ki what type of vegetation, either it's a grassland or shrubland or a dense forest or a scrub land, what type of forest should have existed here ideally. So we decide that. Once that is done, we go out for the survey. What are the species? We market survey what are available, what is not available, tweak and tune. And then comes the aesthetics and that part. So what is the requirement of the person who's building that house? How open he wants? What is the type? He's a morning person, night person. How does the sun moves over the property? How does the aroma get into the property? All of that is weaved together. In that, we also bring in the elements of permaculture, food forest, or
so that is the design element that you will look into.
All of that. And once that is done, everything comes together, you get a beautiful home.
So so in short, basically, or in layman's term, it would first be to match the vision.
Yes.
And you're aligned in thought process.
Yes.
And then would be to look at the size of the land, the location of the land, and do an audit.
All the time.
And then looking at sun, wind, water, and all these other things, then would come the design part and the execution part.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, great. I think that would clarify a lot of things as far as that part is concerned. Gaurav, with this session that we had today, is there any message that you would like to give from Afforestt side to the viewers of this podcast?
Yeah, it's not a message or a preaching of any kind. Like, if you like us, come to us, we'll help you create. But over that, just listen to yourself and see what you want. If it aligns, that's great. If it not, then also it's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I think basically it is. I think people, especially during the COVID time, also got to know that nature is healing. So basically, coming to nature and also doing whatever you can do to preserve nature, ecology, and environment, that would be the biggest thing. And then be able to enjoy it. Find time to be able to go out into the nature and be able to enjoy that, whether for yourself and with your families or kids or parents or whosoever is there. I think that is the message that I think that is out there for the viewers. Thank you.
And I think all I can share is my experience. What I have learned all through these years is that abundance is actually the byproduct of coexistence. So if everything is there in right balance and coexisting, abundance is bound to happen in terms of food, in terms of resources, in terms of relationships, in terms of positive environment around you. All of that will come only by coexisting with the nature and being part of it.
Yeah. Thank you.